So here is question three. Last episode, I've said that I'm a big Will Smith fan, and I am. So to pay homage to Will Smith, we are going to talk about the best Will Smith movies. And I know this topic I love, but I think I'm going to go. So I'm going to go first, and uh, I want to say final two. I almost picked 7 pounds. Like 7 pounds is one of the if I say 7 pounds, but people are like, oh yeah, but it's not like up there, man. 7 pounds need to be up there because 7 pounds is an amazing movie. It's one of the movies by Will Smith that actually made me cry at the end. I will say that. Um, However, my movie is Collateral Beauty. My favorite Will Smith, I think the best Will Smith movie is Collateral Beauty. Side note again, this movie made me cry as well. This is about a owner of spoiler alert, a owner of an advertising company that's trying to uh, cope with the death of his daughter. And it has a great cast, a great storyline, um, uh, a big shock at the end where that should make you cry. It, I will say that it was Oscar bait. It was. I'm never gonna lie. It was Oscar bait, but it to me it touched my heart because it's super super sad. Again, I want to say that not a lot of people, not a lot of people watch this movie. However, if you didn't, you should definitely go see it because it's amazing. It's beautiful, and that's my argument.
All right. Yeah, I definitely disagree with you when it comes to this movie. Uh, this movie made me so angry. Looking like how these are supposed to be his friends, and they fucking trick him, think he's crazy, film it, and then fucking turn it in. Excuse me, after doctoring it up. Then they turn it into his fucking shareholders. No, his friends like completely betrayed him and sold him out. I could not get past that. The whole time I was like, all right, how can like Will Smith win and the rest of them die? That's it. That's all I was thinking about this movie. I couldn't get too sad or like upset about what was going on with him because I was too even pissed off at them. It's just the betrayal. I couldn't take it.
All right, Joe.
I felt, what am I going to say? Like emotionally manipulated. So I guess I was relating to the main character there, but um, it's one thing to make like a fantasy movie, but this is just somebody making Will Smith think he's in a fantasy movie. And I just once you knew what the scam was, I just kind of felt played. Like there's this extra layer, this thing they were tricking us with wasn't really necessary. And uh, I don't know, it seems a little mean and just a little bit tone deaf. I mean, and I get that you can cry. There's movies I cry at that nobody else would ever do that. So it's how you buy into it. And I guess I I just didn't buy into it. I can see how you would, but I did not.
Evan.
Um, I just think the people in this movie are assholes to Will's character. They are, and I've only watched it I think twice, ever, and I always get Truman Show vibes. In the fact that it's somebody documenting someone else's life for the use of either self gain or to harm something else, and it just reminded me of the Truman Show. And I wasn't a big fan of the Truman Show either. I just don't like the idea of people who are supposed. It's not terrible. I just don't like the preface of it. I don't like the idea of someone manipulating someone else's life, whether it's for pleasure, for gain, anything like that. I just think that it's a shitty situation to be in, and when I wouldn't want to be put into it myself. So I don't like. I wasn't the biggest fan of the movie just because I'm like, these guys are genuinely dumb, terrible people. So,
All right, Joe, your movie.
You didn't like us saying bad things about that movie. I can tell. I'm
I
sorry
did.
about that. We're
But
required.
I would say on 3 different occasions, almost four, because CJ movie almost made me cry too. 3 occasions he made me cry. 7 Pounds made me cry at the end. Not Pursuit. Collateral Beauty made me cry at the end. And when his dad came back and Freshman's Bel-Air made me cry. So
Fuck that episode, man. Fuck.
fuck Will Smith and sad ass funny bastard.
Sad ass.
I love Will Smith, but fuck Will Smith.
All right.
Mine's a quirky choice, and after I turned in my choice, I'm not even sure it's correct. But my role on this show appears to be that I'm going to just say what my favorite things are because of the association that they have with my life rather than their artistic merit. So mine is Enemy of the State,
You're
which
paranoid.
came out in '98. Well, am I wrong? Um, but no, it came out in '98, and it was actually the first movie that we went to when where I lived at the time when we had just bought our house, and the house was still in disarray, and we just decided to go out for a movie. So that's what we went out and saw. It's kind of like Pulp Fiction for me that I saw on one of my honeymoons. So um, true story. I like Gene Hackman, the grizzled old uh, agent who was off the grid, and Will Smith as the guy who just kind of gets caught in something that he didn't really have any reason to be, and he ends up with this innovative solution of like, he gets the mobsters into shooting it out with the FBI guys, and he gets out of the whole thing, and it gets tied up. Um, it just gets tied up really nicely. I just thought it was really well executed, and if anything, a harbinger of the surveillance state that we have now. I don't think Jack Black is anywhere watching me. Probably somebody that has more on the ball, but still.
All right. Evan, so you.
So, kind of to point on what you said, the reason I don't like Enemy of the State isn't necessarily because of Will Smith's performance. It's because I don't like the NSA. I don't like the whole, them spying on you, blah, blah, blah. And then when Julian Assange came out and released all the WikiLeaks information, and now he's a fugitive, and Edward Snowden and all that stuff, like you said, you relate a lot of these things to stuff that happened in your life, and you went and saw this movie. I don't like this movie because it's in that period for Will Smith where he's got really good movies around it. And this movie just kind of falls in the middle, and it just wasn't the greatest. Like if I look back on the movies that were right around the time when Enemy of the State came out.
Yes. What was right after?
Hold on, I'm trying to find it in the IMDb thing.
Starts with W.
Wild West.
Wild West.
Okay.
So,
but Men in Black came before it.
yeah.
Wild Wild West came after, which I like. Wild Wild West. Sorry. And then his next big movie after Wild Wild West was Ali. So if you look at that 4-movie span right there, I liked 3 of those 4 movies. So it's just, it wasn't his best work.
You seem to like a lot of movies that get like Rotten Tomatoes scores down.
Oh, dude, I love bad movies. I love bad movies. Do not get me wrong.
Watch them down the dumpster.
There's nothing better than watching a movie that everyone thinks is terrible, but I like. Nothing better. So it is what it is. It's not. Will Smith doesn't make terrible movies, but he has some misses.
All right. CJ's on you.
All right. Don't get me wrong. This movie is entertaining, but I think it's kind of stupid. This is definitely not his best. Just like how they try to bring in like all this technology and they're doing all this and that. It's like, no, that's it. To me, it got like went overboard to a point where it's like nowhere near believable. It's like, dude, it's like we really had any of that stuff. There'd be absolutely no terrorism. There'd be no fucking ISIS fucking like kicking in like random people's doors. And fucking, like, no, it's just way too unbelievable. It's like you said, we have all this technology, but all these people watching you, we can, but it sounds like we can see you fucking running in and out of our houses and shit. But yeah, but this fucking nobody was able to steal your shit. Like, really? Like, and then give it to some rando? Like, no, that was just not believable at all. And then make things worse. Fucking Will Smith had to beg some old white dude to fucking help him. Like, nah. Nope. I can't take it.
All right, so I'm gonna go next. Again, I'm a big Will Smith fan. I only think, me personally, I only think he has two bad movies. And since we didn't pick any of his bad
After
movies,
Earth.
I'm going to say Legend of Bagger Vance can kiss my ass because that movie was hot. And After Earth. Oh my God, After Earth.
Oh my God, garbage.
After Earth was. Oh my goodness, stab yourself for that because that shit was.
How dare
Luckily,
he
I've
bring
never
in
seen
that
either one of them.
superior? How dare he bring in that superior kid actor from fucking Karate Kid?
Oh my goodness, fuck you. Fuck. Anyway, so, but however, I did like Enemy of the State. However, I will say this that Enemy of the State he tried some serious acting because before and a little bit after it was just funny Men in Black, Wild Wild West, Bad Boys,
Especially Wild Wild West.
Bad Boys. Like it was supposed to be he his comedic side. That's literally couple years after they just got done Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So he wanted to do something serious. I get that. However, since it's his first series movie, well, not really his first series because he, like I said, The Legend of Beggar Bands and the one that he played the gay guy. I forgot what it's called. Um,
6 degrees of separation.
it's in Physical Separation, which that was actually a pretty good movie itself. However, if I had to like rank his like series movies, like you said, Ali came out what 2-3 years after that.
2 years.
Yeah,
2001.
Sorry,
yeah.
3. My bad.
I can't put it up there because all his series movies, like I said, like one's coming up later, 7 Pounds, Collateral Beauty, Ali, like all the series that he did, I just can't put it as like the best movie, but it's still a good movie though. All right, now Evans, on you.
Once I actually thought about it more, I would not put my original pick over this. But I do want to name some of those good movies out there that aren't CJ's pick that people have seen Will Smith in. I really liked him in 7 Pounds, like DeAndre has been saying. Both of the original Bad Boys, and I wasn't the biggest critic of Bad Boys for Life. I, Robot was great. Hitch was great. But I changed my pick from Men in Black to I Am Legend. And specifically because, and I can credit my mom on this, she helped me realize it too, he is alone in that movie for like 80% of the movie. And he carries it. I loved that movie. I watched that movie from start to finish numerous times. And I don't know how many people watched Omega Man, which was the Charlton Heston version from way back in the day, but that's what I Am Legend was based off of. And I originally watched Omega Man because of my grandpa. When I Am Legend came out, I was enthralled by it. And then it had, in my opinion, one of the most heartbreaking scenes in a movie when he had to put his dog down. Oh my God. That's the struggle he must have felt. That dude was literally his only companion for years. And it's just, it was a great movie to me. And then I hated the original ending, even though, it was awesome. He sacrificed himself to save basically the world. But I like the alternate ending better, where he goes with the girl and her son and they find salvation. But I always like a good happy ending. I choose to switch to I Am Legend just because there's not very many people who can carry a movie by themselves for a majority of the movie and it not be a bad movie. So have fun with it.
So I'm gonna go first. I need to go first with this because before it runs by my mind. You know what? So again, I Am Legend not bad. We know what I Am Legend remind me of. Castaway.
And what did I pick in the unreleased best Tom Hanks movie ever?
You picked Castaway.
Castaway.
Yeah,
At least he didn't shoot Wilson.
No, but Wilson technically died. Wilson drifted a different way. Listen.
Wilson was gone.
Comparing the dog dying to Wilson drifting away, it both sad. But that's what I'm comparing it to. All right, they both like literally like carry the whole
majority of the movie at least,
but alone. They were alone on an island or in the world. They had to fend for themselves. They had to make sure they survived. This remind me of Castaway, and
Castaway was a great movie.
Castaway was a good movie, but I don't want this. I don't want that at all. I don't want to think about Castaway And I don't think about Castaway when I'm thinking about I Am Legend right now, because it reminds me outside of the zombies, this literally would be the. I'm sorry to bring race into it, but it'd be a black castaway. Like that's what it would be, and that's what I feel like. However, I hated that Archer ending. I would say that too.
You don't like the happy ending?
No, no, let him die, because it shows.
I let him die.
Yeah, it shows a sacrifice. It shows sacrifice.
Well, that's why it wasn't the original ending, and I think the original ending was much more powerful.
Yeah.
But like I said, for him to go through all of that and not get a happy ending fucking sucked. It was a tearjerker originally, but I'm glad they released an alternate ending also. But like I said, it's just I like that movie. Like I said, like you said, Will Smith has a lot of good movies, so it's better when we have a huge catalog to choose from. And like I said, I picked my answer quick because I didn't want anyone else to take it. But then when I had a chance to sit back, I was like, fuck, I really don't like that more than I liked I Am Legend. So
Yeah, that movie was boring as shit. No, I watched the whole thing all the way through once. Don't get me wrong. No, Will Smith's a great actor, but I don't think he carried with absolutely no other cast but a dog and some shadows. Like, no, I think that's too much responsibility upon anybody, even Will Smith. I couldn't do it. I've never seen the alternate ending because I could never watch it again. I've seen the one time. I could tell everybody I watched it. Leave me alone. So yeah, that's all I can say about it.
I want to be back on something with CJ said. He did have a sexual relationship. I don't care what nobody say. He had a sexual relationship with a mannequin. All right, literally, he did have a sexual relationship. All right.
Hey, you gotta do your due. All right.
Either he did or he tried to, and then once he tried to, how did you get turned down by a fucking mannequin?
Hey,
he got turned down by a mannequin.
Shout out to Blockbuster though.
Right. All right, Joe.
Rest in peace, Blockbuster. You are missed.
Yeah, you ask Kim Cattrall how you get turned down by a mannequin. She'll tell you. That's a deep pull for you.
Uh-huh.
To me, this movie was like that TV show where somebody tells you like, ooh, you have to wait till season 3 when it really gets good. Because I tried it a couple of times and then I couldn't get through it. And I had friends go, no, you have to wait through the whole thing. Okay, so finally I did.
You're friends with a pirate?
Yes. Many of them.
No, you have to wait till it gets good.
And I think I was probably trying to get laid at the time, was why I actually watched it, which is why half of human history happens.
Hey.
So I did, and I'm sorry, for me, it just broke down at the ending. First of all, don't be horror movie cliche. When everything breaks down, don't go to the basement, dumbass. Don't go to the basement. Why did they go to the basement? And it was like it took that must have been like the strongest glass ever, because every time they banged their head on it, it seemed like it regenerated or something. So it broke down for me at the end. And I'm not that big on a happy ending. I don't know that there's a happy ending in a world full of zombies. So I'm okay with the ending, but it was supposed to be very. They were supposed to have a lot of gravity to it at that point, and I was just watching it thinking, why would you go to the basement, man? Don't do it.
And who just keeps a live hand grenade laying around? I'm not gonna lie.
Well, if you got turned down by a mannequin enough times, you might get a little desperate.
He was planning on using that on that group of mannequins. He was gonna get them all together in an orgy, toss that grenade in, and walk away like the badass looking, like not looking at an explosion. He's like, she turned me down. If I can't have her, nobody can.
All right, last movie. CJ's on you.
All right. Yeah, I just what I thought is definitely the best Will Smith movie of all time. The Pursuit of Happiness. It was, great casting, phenomenal acting. Gives you all the feels, and it sometimes takes a lot to get me to feel things other than like happy, angry, hungry, drunk. Besides those emotions, I don't really feel shit. Fuck y'all. But this, I actually cried the first time I've seen this. I literally cried, and I tear up every time I see it. It just moves me so much. Just all the emotions are there, and like Jaden's, first performance did really well too. But Will Smith fucking knocked it out the park. And on top of all of that, it made $307 million in the box office. 8 awards out of 23 nominations. It fucking kills it all the way around.
All right, Evans, on you.
All right, so I have a couple gripes with that specific movie. The one that is the biggest to me is at the end of the movie when he gets the job, spoiler alert, the fucking white people sitting there like, would you like to come here and work with us? I'm like, why do I just feel like you talk to him like he's a fucking dog? Like, would you like a treat, sir? Like, that pissed me off. And then I will agree, this is the best movie Jaden Smith's ever been in. And then he had to tarnish his son's good reputation by letting him be in Karate Kid and then bringing him into After Earth. Okay, so and when you look at it, Pursuit of Happiness isn't a terrible movie, but it's the typical movie that everyone goes to when they're like, oh, that's Will Smith's best acting performance because of, he gets the job, he's crying, he walks outside, he does the clap, he puts his hands up. There are times where I've seen Will Smith be a better actor than in that movie. Ergo, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air episode. Shout out to Independence Day also. I thought that was Will Smith's first movie role after
Actually,
I believe after.
It was during. Actually.
Okay. But I just, Pursuit of Happiness is a great movie, but I just think it's a lot of people's go-to, that's the best Will Smith movie ever. When I feel that there are better Will Smith movies out there. Like I said, don't take it the wrong way. I like Pursuit of Happiness. It's a good movie. I just don't think it's his best because there are other movies that I think he performs better in. Shit, he's great in Hancock.
As we do these categories with movies, I feel like I'm finding out about myself that I maybe analyze my movie watching experience too much while I'm watching my movies. Because if I would have just watched it, I could have enjoyed this. But I got stuck on the fact that he's having his kid be homeless, for example, while he's trying to get this dream job instead of he could have worked a lower paying job for a little bit to have a roof over the kid's head and some food and then kind of figured out where he wanted to go from there. So I get stuck on these things. So I don't know. I mean, I know it's not my favorite one, but I'm saying if it's not my favorite one, maybe it's my fault and not the fault of the movie.
All right, so it's on me. Let's just get something straight. Pursuit of Happiness is. I don't think it's the best movie he ever did, but it's definitely one of the best. I will put that out there. It's a fantastic movie. A little bit of the bad things about it though. We're talking about Jada Smith. I love Will Smith and the whole. I love Will Smith, and if you ever watch this episode, please take this with all the love in the world. Your son is not a good actor at all.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Just saying, I like some of his raps. I'm not wrong. Icon was the track Icon was amazing. Especially the remix with Will Smith. But he did Karate Kid and After Earth. Fuck him. He tarnished because Will Smith wasn't in the movie a lot. He tarnished what kind of Will Smith legacy with that fucking movie. I hate. Anyway, but however, I will say he did a fantastic job as a little kid in Pursuit of Happiness. He did a great job in that movie. The big cry at the end. That shit didn't make me tear up. Not to make my best friend put him on blast, but we went to go see this in PA, and he actually cried in that movie with that part because it's so heartfelt. However, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of tired of cliche movies though. Now I think about it.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, I mean, stuff like this, we all know that he's going to pull through. However, I kind of want to see a movie
When he does it right.
I kind of want to see a movie that he doesn't pull through. Like I kind of want to see a movie when somebody doesn't.
So he just drives off a cliff, like
Thelma and
Thelma
Louise.
and Louise style.
Yeah.
I get tired of seeing I get tired of seeing happy endings as well. I would like to see a movie be completely realistic where 9 times out of 10 this isn't going to work out, but you managed to catch the one bit of it on film. You know what I'm saying? I like to point out though that this became this went from the what is the best Will Smith movie to how bad of an actor is Jaden Smith. That is his whole category. So CJ, I'm usually the guy who pulls up stupid lists that has data on it. All right, you said Pursuit of Happiness made how much money?
Yeah, 307 million in the box office.
Aladdin broke $1 billion. Regardless, the box office numbers are so hard to compare because how old is Pursuit of Happiness?
I want to say it's in the teens, right? It came out 2006 or 7 or 8.
Okay, you know how much money the ticket sales have gone up by the inflation and stuff like that. So it's hard to account for your box office money. But at the same time, there wasn't a lot of people who paid to go see this movie. It got super popular afterwards. That's why it's so hard to use box office numbers because if that movie got released now, I bet it would make more money than the $300 million it made.
Yeah, I was use the awards then. How many awards did Aladdin get?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah.
All right.
I will say Will Smith was the best part of the new Aladdin, though.
I need to give a shout out, an honorable mention to fucking Ali. That was actually Will's first real before where people started really considering him an actor. You know, because when he first started out, he was just a rapper with the persona of a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then he did a TV show, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then he did Independence Day, which was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with a plane and aliens. There was Wild Wild West, where it was just Fresh Prince with a gun in the Wild West. It's just like everything was just it was all of it was just Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was just the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with different fucking things. Bad Boys, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with facial hair and a gun. And that's it. It's just Ali was the first one where he came out where he broke out of his shell, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air character, and actually showed that he can be a truly phenomenal actor. That's all I'm saying.
And can we all shout out the movie Concussion? That movie was better than a lot of people give it credit for.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a really good
highly
movie.
Underrated.
Not only that, it also helped spawn more of the trend of player safety while playing a professional sport.
So with that being said, that is the end of our show. So
tune in next week to see what bad answer CJ has.
D, let's see what time it is. Perfect.
With that being said, say goodbye, friends.
Goodbye, friends.
Yeah, this is your boy CJ, aka Pockets No Longer Empty.